Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. Underwhelmed. That's what this puppet is of late, and to a fault. But at what, you inquire? Why, my loyal viewers, that would be the second term of President Donald J. Trump so far. You see, friends and neighbors, to my untrained puppet senses, it seems like since he retook the Oval Office on January 20th of this year, we seem to get promises but none fulfilled, and that flies squarely in the face of what this puppet witnessed during the first term of his presidency, and quite frankly, it does not bode well, this ragdoll thinks. So far, we have heard that illegal trespassers on American soil will be rounded up and shipped back to whence they came, but I've seen far too many people who have no speak of the English at my local Walmart and gas stations in recent weeks to make me believe that this is being followed through on in the fashion we were made to believe. Is it just me who notices this stuff? I, for one, am not in the mood, especially after having suffered 4 straight years of Biden hell, to wait for long results. It is high time to get this mule cart going. I know I hit on this topic in an earlier video, but why have we heard zero about building the wall at our southern border this time around, when we all know fully well that it is desperately needed? What happened, Mr. Trump, to your willpower on closing and protecting our borders? Also, why is it now, loyal viewers, we were all so excited and giddy 3 months ago when the Department of Government Efficiency hit the ground running, and we heard things exposed like millions of Social Security accounts for people over age 150, and USAID having funded virtually every woke cause and piece of taxpayer abuse one could imagine. But now here we are, and we hear ne'er a peep about the CIA, Federal Reserve, or FBI. You and I both know those agencies are rife with abuse. But now it seems like Trump and Musk are possibly holding back on investigating the agencies that really need it the worst. Am I wrong on this? This, folks, gets my puppet intuition up and suspicion also about possible compromise with number 47, something we hopefully do not in reality have. I hate to think it, but as the weeks turn into months and nothing is getting accomplished in areas that desperately need change, I come to wonder about it all. And on the topic of Doge, why have we waited 2 months now and not a word about the once hinted at tax waste refund checks to every single taxpayer paying U.S. citizen who rightfully deserves it? And the original amount heard was in the amount of $5,000, but excuse me, looking at the billions wasted on Ukraine and other trillions wasted on funding of gain of research in Wuhan, China, the amount actually needs upped by quite a bit, does it not? I highly suspect that the U.S. Congress is sitting idly by on well-warmed hands and ready to nix it if it were to be raised as an issue in their halls, despite those same crooks pocketing their 6-figure incomes, lifetime cush medical care, and millions taken in corporate bribes. Yes, viewers, I have actually heard concern voiced by at least one financial prognosticator concerned over the supposed inflation that could result from sending taxpayer citizens their well-deserved misspent money back to them. Ha ha ha! That is certainly laughable. Take a look at what takes place every late winter to early spring in the United States, something we commonly call income tax refund checks. Those average in the $2,000 to $3,000 income per household range, and we have never heard a word about inflation resulting from them, have we? All we ever heard when it comes to paying the broken taxes of the American taxpayer back is that it will yield inflation. But when it comes to funding the military-industrial complex or Ukraine to the tune of billions of dollars, it is fine to ignore it and look the other way. Frankly, my fellow viewers, I've had it beyond up to here with this garbage. Has anyone besides this puppet wondered about this as well? And then we have Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. You know, the 2 presidential cabinet members who we all thought would make the biggest impact where it really was needed the most. Bondi was appointed United States Attorney General or head of the Department of Justice, a department that was severely abused in its powers under felon Merrick Garland just prior. Kashyap Patel, only recently appointed to lead the Federal Bureau of Investigation, an agency that sorely needed cleaning out of political corruption that goes back decades. The only thing, friends and compadres, is that neither of these 2 highly lauded department heads has done basically anything of note to date so far. The biggest yawners so far have been the very unrevealing release of the JFK documents from government archives after 60 years of being cobwebbed and hidden from citizens of this country, and of course the publication of the Jeffrey Epstein client list, though it was obviously heavily redacted, and some criminals within the FBI and DOJ are obviously purposely protecting money and individuals, and alarmingly so after Trump ran on a platform of going after government corruption. Come on, President Trump, Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel. We all deserve better than this, do we not? On top of that, my friends and viewers, we have all been asked to believe the lie that Thomas Crooks, a 19-year-old from Pennsylvania, had no social media accounts, no friends whatsoever, and no co-conspirators at all in the July 13th, 2024 shooting of President Donald J. Trump, and Patel's do-nothing FBI has, as expected, done nothing to further investigate yet. Yep, you know, the same garbage that we were just fed for 60-plus years regarding Lee Harvey Oswald. That's the kind of garbage being force-fed to the American public, all while the world looks at us and laughs. Oh, and while on the topic of the assassination attempt on Trump's life last July, can we also ask Bondi and Patel why absolutely zero has been mentioned so far as it pertains to the DEI compromised Secret Service? I mean, anyone with functioning eyeballs in their head could see the Keystone Cops comedy played out before us, and all we got was a feigned apology and the resignation of Kimberly Cheadle. Rather fitting last name if I ever heard one, but I digress. Of particular note is that President Trump recently made Dan Bongino deputy director of the FBI directly under Kash Patel, and his background as having been an employee of the United States Secret Service. Does that mean that a thorough investigation of the Secret Service as it pertains to July 13th, 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania is imminent? That would be a big fat no. You see, friends and neighbors, nothing appears to be pressing, imminent, or even slightly of high importance to the current administration. Remember when a crime cartel commandeered the U.S. White House not so long ago, and a congressional representative from Kentucky named James Comey and his committee uncovered numerous LLC money laundering operations by said cartel? Well, kids and cousins, according to my recollection, that has never been prosecuted to even one scintilla of the letter or intent of federal racketeering statutes currently law within the borders of the United States of America. And why would that be? Oh yes, comes back to Pam Bondi, Kashyap Patel, and Donald Trump once again. In fact, if I did not know better, I would think this administration is in bed with the crime cartel that preceded them. What exactly are they hiding? I thought Trump was all about transparency in the government, was he not? Okay, then it is high time he proved it. Why am I having to ask myself and again if this is legitimately the president and administration I voted for? Does it seem like this puppet is about out of patience waiting on justice to be delivered? Well, I am, and deservedly so. Good night, my loyal viewers, and sleep well.